Miriam, Kayla.
Hi, everyone.
What is going on?
Hello.
Can I do like a hug? It's a big hug to you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, I want
Happy
some.
Thursday, Kayla and Kevin Grover and Mike and Marion Rosen, Elizabeth Griffin, Leanna T, Alice. Does everyone? I mean, I know it's a Thursday, but I kind of feel like Fridays don't exist. Is that weird? I really like Fridays are like.
In what way?
I just feel like it's like kind of a dead day for everybody and blah 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 blah. So my question is like, it's a Thursday. Is it appropriate to be like, do you have big weekend plans?
I feel like right now is where it starts. You can ask, what are you guys doing this weekend?
Throw it in the chat. We want to know anything fun. Any pumpkin patches we're visiting?
Are we last minute Halloween costume shopping? Are we panic costume shopping this weekend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone here grew up in a Jewish household around Jewish families, but there's this time as a Jew where you go to a lot of bar mitzvahs because everyone's kind of like, you have a bar mitzvah. It's like having a wedding every weekend. But I have 2 kids under 3. All I have is birthday parties every weekend.
Yeah.
I've got 3 birthday parties.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of cake. A lot of clowns.
Is there good food at those birthday parties?
Horrid.
Oh.
Horrid. No, they're fine. You guys.
Yeah, they might be watching right now.
I know. They're really great. They're really great. You guys, welcome back. We are so excited. This is our second ever episode with Multo. This is CookingPal's Multo. Yesterday was our first episode. We were really excited, really nervous because we wanted to see how you guys would take it on. But today we're going to do another side-by-side. We're going to talk about what this means. If you missed yesterday, we have 6 classes. This is class number 2 of 6. Showing the Multo and how this can absolutely transform everything you do in the kitchen. So we'll talk about that, but a couple of house rules. First and foremost, I'm Joel. I am the founder and head chef here at Homemade. This lovely woman next to me is Jenny. Jenny is our lead chef. She does all of our recipe development, our photo shoots, and she teaches a heck of a lot of classes. She's amazing. If you want to talk to myself and Jenny in real time, which is our absolute favorite thing in the world, Please, we want to see your face, so make sure you just click the little camera button, share your face, even if you're not participating, even if you're not cooking, that's cool. We just want to see you. It just makes our day, and it just really warms up the vibe here. If that's not your thing and you're not comfortable with that, that's totally cool. In the chat, we have another chef, Chef George.
Chef George.
So he can respond to you in real time. You can ask him questions. I do want to say, if you have technical questions, make sure to DM him privately. If it's a question that you feel like can really benefit the group, or if it's about the recipe or whatever, totally add it to the chat. But if you're having problems, technical difficulty, I just don't want to kind of bog it down with individual issues. So just make sure to hit him up individually. He's very good about that. Anything else I'm forgetting?
I mean, I hope you guys are hungry. We're
This
sending
recipe-
this through the camera to you all.
I have to say this recipe is incredibly light,
Light.
really refreshing.
Fresh.
I feel like sometimes you think about like this time of year and winter and you think stews and heavy things.
Yeah.
This is the opposite.
But still filling.
Yeah, we're making
Filling, but like
prawn
nice
linguine.
and fresh.
Yeah, it's very filling. It's still beautiful pasta, but it's kind of got that French, just light Italian coastal vibe. Don't you think?
Yes. I mean, you need a glass of wine. You need some music. Go find your French playlist or your Italian playlist for this.
Yes, this is
set the mood, set the vibe.
And this is one of those pastas that does not need cheese.
No.
I have to say, I am a cheese. I will face plant into some Parmesan. But this one doesn't need it. There's some anchovy, there's some salt happening into this that really kind of pumps it up. And I don't know, I think it's a beautiful recipe. So again, I'm going to be cooking in the Multo to show you what that's like. And then Chef Jenny is going to be cooking conventionally. And we wrote a recipe on our website conventionally. If you have the Multo, you can obviously use their tablet and their app, which is amazing. To kind of just brief everyone on this, this is not a new piece of equipment for the world. The Multo is actually a very common, especially in Europe, way of cooking. This is not just a blender, although it looks like a blender. It cooks, it dices, it sautés, it steams, it does so many things. It actually replaces up to 10 appliances. Yesterday we made a stuffed chicken breast with some cauliflower mash, and I think you had like 5...
Is it?
Yeah.
It was
5
a dish
to
night
6
here. It was a dish night.
Appliances, and I just kept it to 1. So today is going to be less about saving appliances and more about how much it saves time.
Yeah.
And also just actual grunt work in the kitchen. So we're going to get to it. This one's actually really scrappy, too, this recipe, so I'm very into
Scrappy.
it.
Look that up if you guys don't know what that is.
Yeah, if you know me, I like to keep all the little garbage and all the little side things and put that into the actual recipe, not letting anything go to waste. But the Multo comes with this really, really cool tablet, and this actually hooks up to the Multo. So this is speaking to this, all right? And we're going to do this guided recipe of prawn linguine. We're just going to kind of follow the instructions, which makes it super easy. First thing I want to show is, and I showed this yesterday, if I just lean on this a little bit, check it out. It actually quintuples. No, I'm going to go tentuples. It's a scale. It's not just a cooking machine. This thing actually weighs. You can change from ounces to whatever you need, grams, so be it. So really cool when you're mise en placing or gathering all your recipes. But the first step this thing says is to cut the legs and the shell off of shrimp. Now, Jenny, when you buy shrimp, which I know is rare, do you buy shrimp shell on or shell off?
I do like to buy it shell on because you can freeze it, make the best stock ever.
Yes.
It's instant flavor.
So scrappy.
It's scrappy,
I love
guys.
Yes.
It's so much flavor.
Well, also,
so much flavor.
when you cook sausage, okay, I'm going sausage for a sec. When you cook sausage, how juicy is that meat in there?
I mean,
right? Because it's got the sausage link around it, that little casing. Shrimp is the same way. When you cook shrimp with the shell on, if you decide to do that, it actually keeps the shrimp incredibly moist. So I always buy shrimp with the shell on. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
And you get kind of 2 meals for one, but also the shrimp comes out better always if you do it with the shell on. So, but today we're going to take the shell off and use the shell as the base to our beautiful pasta. So I'm going to show you how to do this. We've got a little cutting board here. Here is our shrimp. So here is the head of the shrimp. Here are the little legs. I know we all get a little squirmy, but that is what shrimp looks like. You just simply twist off the head. Really easy. So cool. Save the head. We're going to save this for our sauce. And then I take a paring knife and I kind of just run it down the back. Okay? And when you open this up, you'll notice there's like a little vein. That's totally fine. It's very normal. You just got to pick that out. And then you just kind of peel off the legs and the shell. And you are left with this beautiful, cleaned out, simple little shrimp. So I'll do another one.
do you save that vein, Chef Joel?
Do I save what?
The vein that you just took out of the
No,
back?
the vein you toss. The
Vein you toss.
Yeah, the vein you toss. Good question. So here we go again. Here's the head. Twist. Okay. Into our little scrap bowl that we're going to use later. Take a knife. You can start at the top or the bottom. I don't care. And you just literally run it down the shell. And you can also use kitchen shears, which works really well.
Yeah.
Open that up, take out the vein using the tip of the knife, and you are good to go. So this one is cleaned. I'm going to just remove the vein here. And it's already pre-butterflied too, which is pretty nice. And there you go. Easy peasy.
That was insanely easy.
All right. You want to try,
Yes,
Chef Jenny?
I want to try.
I'm going to
Got
give my
my
hands a
shrimp
quick
here?
wash while you're doing that.
Yeah. Just take off the head. We're going to
Guys,
save that.
Yeah, while Chef Jenny's doing that, please, George, any questions in the chat, or does anyone want to raise their hand? Talk to Jenny and I directly. Yay! Oh,
Welcome,
amazing.
Jamie.
So Chef Jamie, he is the developer of all the recipes that are loaded on CookingPal. One thing that's really cool about CookingPal is you can absolutely cook whatever recipe that you want to make, and you can do your own techniques. If you want to saute, you can do that. Custom mode, no problem. But literally weekly, they are uploading new recipes that Jamie's and his team are testing, loading, and they automatically cook for you. So Jamie's kind of doing the hard work. So that's why we all freak out about Jamie. We love him.
He's a rock star.
He's a total
You guys don't know this,
sweetheart.
but like he's a big deal.
He's a huge deal.
He's a huge
we
deal.
love Jamie. All right. How are you doing over there, my
I'm
dear?
doing great. There's something very meditative about
Yes.
doing this. I kind of zone out. I
Yes.
see the work happen. Would you ever do this with kids, Chef Joel? It's kind of.
I don't know if I'd give them the paring knife, but I would definitely let them peel the shrimp.
You
I'd
mean
definitely let them peel the
your
shrimp.
3-year-old can't handle a chef's knife yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
yet.
All right, that's fair.
All right. So, and for those of you who are gathering the ingredients, just real quick. So we've got our shrimp shells, which are separate from the actual shrimp bodies. We've got some olive oil. Beautiful. Oh, these are so good. Anchovies. A big fat chili. It doesn't have to be this big and fat, but this is a good one. 4 cloves of garlic, a handful of parsley. I've got some tomatoes already chopped. We'll talk about that. I use the Multo to do that. Some fresh pasta. This is what keeps it really light, too, when you buy these fresh pasta. You can, of course, make it.
Pasta.
But when you buy it, it's very simple. And then I've got a splash of vinegar, too, which adds some brightness. So, next step in this beautiful journey of our shrimp linguine is we are going to blitz the parsley. Now, like I said, this looks like a blender or a food processor, and it does, of course, do that. So all I got to do is take my parsley in, and what you're going to do at the same time is you're going to chop.
I'm going to chop.
Because if I didn't have this, there's no question I would just take it to the board and start chopping it up. But that's already kind of a plus side that I like. I don't have to get the knife out. I'm not risking cutting myself. Don't have to deal with the whole board situation. So up to you, but this does kind of save you that moment. And this has turbo. So I unlock turbo. This is super cool. You press the button. You guys can't hear this. That thing spins fast.
Yeah.
There is not a food processor or blender in the world that will give you that type of result. And I'll just show you how it just basically decimated this.
I'm still going, yes.
You're still going. We're not judging, but you can kind of see this is almost like a powder. It really takes it to the next level. I'm going to go to the side here so you guys can see as well.
Look at that.
So she's where you're there in your chopping, so it's
Yeah.
still pretty chunky, but I'm kind of at the point of where I want to be.
I feel a little attacked, but I'm
No.
okay. I mean,
No, you're not attacked.
it's really pretty.
Again, we're not
really
competitive.
pretty and small, and I'm still going here.
And it comes with this cute little spatula, which I always love.
Oh, I love
So
swag.
first step is just chop or blitz your parsley. And the parsley is really important in this recipe because this is not a cooked sauce, really. We do flavor in oil, but the parsley is going to add this really fresh kind of vibrancy, the way that basil does in a pasta, or that if you added fresh mint or fresh oregano, it just kind of like pops and lightens the whole thing up. Cool. All right, are you in a good spot yet?
I'm in a good spot.
Okay, I think you're in a good spot. Because I don't want to move on without you.
This guy's going in the. Everyone's going in there.
Yeah.
I love the smell of fresh chopped herbs. I understand using dried herbs. It
Yeah.
floats you through
Nothing wrong with that.
many a pinch, but there's something about fresh herbs.
Yeah. So next step is where we're going to get scrappy. I want to call it Chef Jamie. Jamie, I love you that you do this because a lot of recipes don't. But we're going to move on to the next step. And the next step is we're literally going to make this prawn oil. So what does that mean? We take
tell
the
me.
shells, and of course you can put the shells in a stock. I don't know if anyone has ever done this at home, taking soft butter, and you can put it into your Multo or a food processor, turn it on, and add the shells to it once you toast the shells and cook them a little bit, and make a shell, like you can eat the shells. They don't have to be strained out. Like a prawn butter that you can put on top of lobster.
Okay, that I haven't done before. You have my attention.
I don't know if anyone's ever seen my cooking show Scraps, but I do it on that show, and it got a lot of press. That was a big one. So what we're going to do is you're going to actually add some oil. We've got a little bit of oil, and
oil
you're going to
back
add
there.
shrimp shells to a skillet.
To skillet, I have a skillet back here.
I don't have to bust out a skillet. I can literally attach this thing called a butterfly whisk right in. In go my shells. In goes my oil. On goes my lid. This way. And then once the lid is on, am I putting this on wrong? Yeah. No, I'm putting it on wrong. I'm doing this backwards because I want you guys to see, and it's backwards for me. But then I just press start. And at this point, hopefully you guys can see, it literally is saying sauteing. And not only is it saying sauteing, it's saying how much time I have left. So you can see it's got 9 minutes and 42 seconds. And it's telling me how hot the pan is. You can see it's 32 degrees. It's about to jump up because it's heating up. So as that's getting hotter, that butterfly whisk is literally spinning the shrimp shells around with the oil, infusing it. So this is just doing its thing. And this is, listen, what Jenny is doing is what I would do at home if I didn't have the Multo. The difference is I can go check an email. I can go make a call. I can go see what's up with my kid because this thing is turning it for me, right? The Multo is literally got that butterfly whisk. It's babysitting if you're making risotto, if you're making a succotash, if you're doing a hash for the morning. It doesn't matter. It's stirring for you. Jenny does have to kind of sit there and babysit. So in this, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's like, again, it saves you a little bit of time.
I'm fine over here. I'm thinking about what Halloween candy I'm going to eat this weekend. I'm keeping busy.
Are you a candy? We talked about this. You're a candy corn girl?
Fully candy corn. Here's the other
debatable.
Here's the other polarizing one. Are you a Mounds person? Are you coconut?
That's not polarizing. No one is. And if you are,
say it. Finish the sentence. Finish the sentence.
I'm not going to finish the sentence. I'm not going to finish the sentence, but I would say,
love coconut.
If I opened a door, if I said trick or treat, and someone offered an apple or a Mound bar, like one of those coconut bars, I'll choose the apple.
That is an obscene statement. That was very dramatic. We can all agree Tootsie Rolls, though.
Tootsie Rolls all day.
I'll take an apple over a Tootsie Roll.
No, I want the Tootsie Roll.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
We probably should do this off camera.
This is not.
This is going to be a longer discussion.
Put it in there. Tootsie Roll or Mounds bar. I mean, that's not even. Just curious. Come on. Steph says loves coconut. Mounds?
Thank you, Steph.
No way. Steph and Alice are saying Mounds.
Yes.
Patty's saying Team Coconut. You guys, Tootsie Rolls are amazing.
I feel so validated right now.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable. All right. So this is cooking away. Again, it's telling me I've got 7 minutes left, but I can move on to the next step. So in this next step, I did this ahead of time. You don't have to, but
I gotta come over.
I can kind of watch that for you.
Gotta come over now.
So Chef Jenny's gonna just literally. The recipe calls for you to concasse a tomato. Does anyone know what concasse? You don't need to concasse a tomato. You can just chop it up. But does anyone know what concassing a tomato is? What does concasse mean?
I'll be really impressed if you guys do.
Don't Google it. Don't Google it. Just tell me if you know it. Okay, doesn't seem like anyone does. Good. It's rare that I stump this group. This group usually knows.
Yeah, this group's pretty sharp.
So concasse means, typically in culinary school, it means you blanch the tomatoes, so you take off the skin, but then you also open it up and you take out the seeds. And you do that a little bit sometimes for salsas and raw sauces because the seeds can be a little watery. I actually like it in this recipe just to chop it up. Up to you. Yeah. If you want to take out the seeds, great, but I think it kind of adds, the pasta soaks up all that beautiful acid from the tomato, which I love. So
also, I mean, food's expensive these days. I don't want to throw any food out. I don't absolutely have to. So I love that we're using the food shells. Or the shrimp shells, and I love that we're going to keep these seeds.
Yeah, but point being is Jenny does have to use her knife and her board again, watching those fingers, and I literally just popped my tomatoes into the Multo. It blitzed it up, and I've got this chopped nice bit. So again, saving time. I don't have a knife. The only knife I've used so far is to chop up the shrimp shells. Or not chop up, but devein them.
Devein them.
Would be hard to do without a knife. But you can do it with kitchen shears, I guess.
Yeah.
So while you're doing the tomatoes, which you're doing a great job at.
Thank you.
I do want to talk about chilies. Everyone always asks me, how do you know if a chili is spicy? General rule. The bigger a chili is, the more mild it is, right? So think about a red pepper, not spicy at all. Think about a Thai chili. They're really, really skinny, small chilies. They'll blow your head off. They're insane. So when you see a chili like this, you know it's going to be a little bit spicy.
Yeah.
But you never know how much.
Yep.
And the reality is, if you really want to know, first of all, chilies are cheap as chips, so buy a couple of them just in case one's a little bit more spicy. But just kind of nick off the back, pop it in.
It's a dangerous game you just played. I like the confidence.
It's called chili roulette.
Chili roulette.
This is perfect to me. It's like this beautiful balance. Yeah, try it out. I just kind of ripped off the nub.
The bottom nub?
Yeah. Don't do this at the grocery store and stick it back. I mean, buy this and then eat it.
I'm applauding you.
So you kind of get a sense like, is this going to kill me? Is this going to... It's nice. It's a sweet balance. So I would not let go of the seeds here. I like to just literally... I'll just pop out the top like this, compost that. But because I'm using the Multo, I don't need to chop this up, right? I can literally just kind of break it up And then this, I don't even have to break it up, but this is going to go into the Multo.
I'm going to slice mine.
You can slice yours.
Slice mine.
Yeah.
You guys don't know this, but Chef George, who's on the chat, can eat habanero peppers like apples.
You can, George? I didn't know that.
He has the highest heat tolerance of anyone I've ever met. So I don't think this would do anything to Chef George. He might have to get a hot sauce bottle that has like a bomb going off on the front just to spice.
He does love his hot sauce. He gave us all a couple bottles of hot sauce for Christmas last year. And then I'm just going to take some garlic, give it a light smash with the back of a bowl. I don't have to chop mine up. It's going in the Multo. You're going to have to chop yours up.
Chop mine up.
Not the end of the world, but just another step. How you doing over there?
I'm doing great.
So you're chopping.
I love all the colors in this dish. It's hard to get bright colors and as weather gets colder. So I'm really feeling all these bright parsley, the tomatoes. I'm feeling it.
It is good. And by the way, I do want to call out, right now in the kitchen, what you're smelling is the shrimp oil, which is unbelievably beautifully smelling.
I wish we had smell-o-vision. This is one of those times.
Coastal. It smells like this is the type of food that you forget exists when you just toast shrimp shells. They have such a sweet flavor to them.
And when I'm doing this back here, guys, I have a kind of a flat little spatula back here. I am pressing the heads, pressing the shells.
I'm going to do the same.
Just trying to squeeze out as much flavor as I can.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Good to go?
I mean, it just smells so good back here.
All right. So at this point, I'm just going to check my guy. I've got a couple minutes left, but I'm going to probably stop it pretty soon. I do want to call out again, and I'll open this up in a sec, but what this does, okay, it sautés, it steams, it kneads, it weighs, it chops, it whisks, it grinds, it stirs, it mixes, it slow cooks, no joke, it grates, and then we talked about this yesterday, it sous vides.
Which is, that's the one that got me.
Well, sous vide machine in general, one of those sticks that you stick in the water, those are $150.
Yeah.
Or $200. So like the fact that you can set this temperature to whatever you want, float a little bag of salmon in there, float some beautiful carrots stuffed with some butter in there, float a steak in there, and then sear it. That in itself is worth it, in my opinion. All right. Yeah. So I am going to move on to the next step. Smells so good.
It smells really good in here.
So I'll show you guys what this looks like real quick, just so you guys kind of have a sense of what's going on. Open this guy up. Oh, look at that. See, it's heated itself. The shrimp has turned pink. Right? Hopefully you guys can see that. And the oil is just totally taken on its own flavor. So I'm going to remove the shells at this point. I'm going to leave the oil in the actual Multo itself, but I'm going to remove the shells, just leaving the oil behind. And I'll show you a little, I'll put some light to this so you guys can see the color, but the oil has taken on the pink hue of the shrimp shells. Insane.
Now, are you saying at this point we could eat these?
You could, yeah, totally.
Wow.
I mean, I don't love shrimp shells on their own. I like them with the bodies, but you could. They're not. It's not dangerous in any way.
Ah.
All right, check this out, guys. Hopefully you guys can see this. Hard to see the color, but you can see the oil kind of left behind, and it really does have kind of this pink, beautiful, light color to it. So I'm going to add this back. I'm going to take out the butterfly whisk, because this is going to do a little bit of chopping for me. And at this point, I'm going to add in my garlic, because I didn't chop it like Jenny did. I'm going to add my chilies, because I didn't chop those like Jenny did. And I'm going to add...
Wow. Yeah.
No. Again, no knock. And I'm going to add some anchovies. And then I simply throw on the lid and move on to the next step.
Chef Joel, if you didn't have anchovies, whole anchovies, could you use anchovy paste?
Could you use anchovy paste?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on
100%.
anchovy paste? All right.
Love anchovy paste. Does anyone have anchovy paste? I have anchovy paste in my kitchen at all times. When you're making a Caesar salad dressing, just a little bit of that, some mayo, a little bit of buttermilk, Parmesan cheese, a little garlic, and it's like done.
Okay, so
I love it.
You added your guys to the oil?
I added, yes, everything to oil.
Right,
so you're doing the exact same thing.
Mine are going over here, yeah.
Yep, so you're adding your anchovy, your garlic, and I can hear mine cooking.
I can hear it cooking too. That's a good sign.
And it's chopping at the same time.
My garlic and my pepper. You guys cannot hear this over here, but the second that everything hit, started sizzling, and then this perfume of veggie and aromatics and shrimp came off. I think I could just eat this and would be happy right now.
Yeah, I would be happy with that. So yours is going, mine's going. What I'm about to show you next, and I'll just kind of talk you through this, is going to kind of blow your mind. This is what really separates, I think, the Multo from just everyday cooking. So once this cooks, we'll kind of finish this sauce, but we're actually going to boil our pasta in here with our shrimp. So again, I have not moved to a blender. I have not had to pull out a knife or a board. I have not had to get a pot of water boiling. That's something Jenny's got in the back, which is...
I do. I have a pot of water over here.
If any of us were cooking this at home, that's totally normal. But again, it just saves you so much equipment and so much time. I'm able to kind of speak to you and just be here while you've seen that Jenny is just kind of busy working at the same time. And we did this on purpose because we want to show you this side by side of how this thing can really change your life. I also didn't call out, by the way, really, really cool. If you go to their website, which is CookingPal.com, and you actually buy something, you type in gift with HM. Gift with HM as in homemade. You get $80 off. Really great deal.
That's a big chunk of money.
It's a big chunk of money. It's a big chunk of money.
Holidays get expensive. That's a good chunk of money. I could
Absolutely.
make that last somewhere else.
Yesterday there was a lot of questions about the Multo. How about today? How are we doing, George? Anything that we need to address? I know this is a completely new way of cooking for people.
Yes, validation. Thank you.
I disagree.
I knew you people were beautiful, and I feel so
on so many levels.
Yes.
On so many levels. Awesome. We talked about the promo. Again, this is not a futuristic way of cooking. I know this seems like a lot with the tablet and the technology and the whole thing. It's really not. This is a way that people have been cooking in Europe and Asia for many years. If you have a small kitchen, if you've got a boat, if you've got an RV, if you've got a dorm, if you've got anything, it doesn't have to be small, but that really does help you compact an entire kitchen into one appliance, which is really cool.
Yeah.
It really is cool. The fact that this is cooking, you can see the steam. This is not just grinding. This is a full-on kitchen on a stand, which I really love. So at this point, I'm going to show you guys what this looks like.
Let's do it.
All right, let's open this guy up.
Very excited for this.
It smells ungodly.
You guys aren't here, but the smell of all those ingredients together, unbelievable.
So I'm literally going to take this parsley here, and I'm going to add this to the tomato. You want to do the same thing? You want to just
Absolutely.
add your tomato to parsley?
Add my tomatoes to a bowl here.
I'm just going to go side by side. I don't want to rush through it.
All that juice too.
Yeah.
Lovely.
See, that's why I like keeping the juice. But you can concasse it. It's your call. Chef Jamie, not knocking the concasse. I love the concasse.
Love it.
All right, you want to add your parsley?
Add that beautiful parsley.
Beautiful. So we got that going. And then this is what's really cool about this. It's an uncooked sauce in a lot of ways. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to add a splash of white vinegar. Just white wine vinegar.
Deglazing right over here.
Yeah, this just adds a little bit of extra zest, a little bit of pop. There's a decent amount of fat in here from the olive oil. And, man, it just really complements those tomatoes in a great way.
Yeah.
So then I literally take mine, and I'm going to just show you guys the color here. So here's mine. Look at the color of this oil.
Oh.
That's the color of shrimp shell love.
That is
You can see
flavor.
the garlic. You can see the chili.
You want a
Oh
little?
my gosh, I got to scrape that down. You do
can't-
yours.
Do
You
not leave that behind. Do
I
not
will
leave a soldier
leave
behind
that
there.
behind ever. I would never do that. Here, do it a little bit more over here. so
Ooh,
people
sorry,
can see it.
guys.
That's all right.
I'm just so excited here. Look at that.
Yeah, your oil looks great, by the way.
I mean, it smells just, oh, It's making me. I'm very happy right now.
Chef Jamie, kudos, buddy. This is one
Guys,
of those recipes.
If you're liking what you're seeing right now, show Chef Jamie some love because
for sure.
This is a real. Both Chef Joel and I today we couldn't stop raving about this recipe.
Yeah, it's a great one. And
game,
again,
respect, game.
Well, I just think that there's so many cooked pasta sauces, and it's nice to have a raw one every once in a while.
It is. It's just
more of a dressing than anything.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's a great. Look at the dressing. Yeah, look at that.
So this is kind of cool. At this point, I poured out the shrimp oil. I just ran this under the sink real quick, and then you can do this, or you don't have to do this because this will bring it up to temperature. But I've got a kettle of water that's hot. You've got a pot of water.
A pot of water over here.
Yep. So I'm going to add in my water, and I'm going to start boiling this over here. The kettle just kind of jump starts it. Doesn't really do much other than that. This backwards thing is tough. All right, so then I literally just start cooking this up, getting it going. We do have to add a little salt to this.
Always.
That's
my move. Add a little salt.
Can I get a little bit after you?
Absolutely. Look at that.
Yeah, to that, and then also our pasta water.
Always.
A little bit here.
Me too.
And again, we're using a guided recipe. We're going step by step through this recipe that's preloaded on here. You don't have to do that. I have. You guys have seen these Nespresso machines for coffee, where you just literally load a pod, you press on, and you have a latte. I'm the type that likes to grind, tamp, and draw that shot of espresso. I like to do things custom. And my first question when I was training on this with Chef Jamie on the Multo was like, well, do I have to follow your recipe, or can I preload my own? He says you can absolutely preload your own. You can actually if you just want to saute in this because you want to scramble some eggs, great. But if you want to load your own recipes, you can do that too. This thing, no joke, check this out. This blew your mind yesterday.
It really blew my mind. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, on the back of the tablet is this camera. So you can literally take pictures as you're prepping your food and add steps into this and pre-program it. Yeah. So it literally can just cook for you.
What I really like about that is because I'm a visual learner.
Yeah.
I come from a big Italian-Mexican family, and relatives do not write things down. It's all in their head. It's all up here. I've missed so many recipes because of that.
It's nice.
So cook along with someone and take pictures, and then you can preload stuff in.
Yes. And then I do want to also call out, this is my favorite feature so far. I'm not kidding. It tells you how hot the water is. Hard to see,
cool.
But this tells you, okay, I'm at 212, so I'm boiling, which means I am ready to take this off. So I'm going to stop this cooking, move on to the next step for me. And at this point, I've got our boiling water. I'm going to drop this really cool basket in. This just helps fish it out later. You can add potatoes to this. You can add so many things to this. It doesn't have to be pasta, but we're going to both do the same thing. Yeah. I'm going to grab some fresh linguine. Drop that in.
Two of my favorite words.
Fresh linguine.
Fresh linguine.
Yep. A couple handfuls of that. And then I'm going to, on top of that, add my shrimp.
Okay.
The actual shrimp itself.
I'm just going to drop mine in the water over here.
Yep. Beautiful. And then I'm going to literally slap on the lid and press next step. And in 4 minutes, which is exactly how long this linguine takes to cook, and this shrimp takes to cook, will be golden. What questions do you guys have? Jenny, any questions from you or thoughts?
I mean, I would like, since we are working with shrimp, I don't know if you guys know, but Chef Joel is a seafood wizard, as I call him.
You do call him?
Seafood Merlin, if you will.
Seafood is my pastry.
Oh,
I'm not comfortable with pastry. Jenny is, and I'm comfortable with seafood. But continue.
What are you looking for when you buy shrimp?
That's a great question. Oh, my God.
What do I need to know? What do the people need to know?
That's a great question. So the first thing is you do want to look for what's called organic shrimp. 99% of the shrimp that you buy is going to be farmed shrimp. Okay. Very rare that you're going to find wild shrimp unless you live down south where you have a really, really great shrimp purveyor. But even wild shrimp, no matter what it is going to come to you frozen. Organic just means that they are fed an organic diet. So whatever the shrimp's eating, you're eating.
Great.
So that's really important.
That's really important.
Not everything do you have to buy organic. When it comes to shrimp, I really feel like you do. Okay. Again, I'm a big proponent of peel on, shell-on shrimp. Because, again, you can see it literally flavored our sauce. If you didn't have this, you could poach the shrimp, but this entire dish is going to fall flat compared to what it would be if you had the shell. So that's number 2. And number 3 is I buy it frozen. So you'll see shrimp.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see shrimp. Exactly. Jenny, I love you. But when you go to the grocery store, you'll see de-thawed shrimp or shrimp that's just sitting there. You don't know how long that's been de-thawed. It could be 3 days.
That is a fair point.
It could be 7 days. If it's frozen, it was frozen upon manufacturing, around building it. So you know that the last time it was unfrozen, it was very fresh.
Okay. How long does it usually take to thaw for you?
24 hours in the fridge. That's how you do all fish.
That's
just stick it in the fridge.
Easy.
You know you're going to make it the next day.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. If you want to rush that, cold water in the sink. How we doing, George, in the chat?
Not a lot of questions, but Michael may or may not be adopting Steph.
Okay, random. I'm into it, though. I'm here for it, and I'm into it. You guys, I want to call it out again. CookingPal, like you're my pal.com. CookingPal.com. Use the code GIFTWithHM. And I do also want to call out, we're going to be doing, again, 4 more classes on this because we've been getting, actually yesterday, we got a ton of emails and feedback around questions.
Yeah.
Where can you buy it? How much does it cost, et cetera? So we hope to answer all these questions. But there are also so many resources. Actually, Chef Jamie, the guy who wrote this recipe, who we are geeking out about because we love, he's actually going live tonight on their Instagram. Yeah, so it's Cooking Pal Official.
Okay.
Is their handle at Cooking Pal Official. The chili.
Right?
I think I'm okay.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just verklempt about the demo today.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, so at Cooking Pal Official, Jamie is leading a demo on the Cooking Pal, on the Multo, 8:30 Eastern.
8:30
so
Eastern.
Plenty of time, whether you're doing this or not, but go check it out live on Instagram, again, at Cooking Pal Official, and that's 8:30 Eastern with Chef Jamie. He's going to do some, I think, spooky dirt cups. Isn't that kind of fun?
Okay.
They don't take themselves too seriously. I love that.
Yeah.
And I think they're making like witch's brew.
Yeah.
You know, like witch's brew, like those cocktails. You know, hey guys, we're 4 days away from Halloween. Make it happen.
Make it happen now.
Make it happen now. All right, let's see. I think we're about to ding. Yep. Chefs have this internal thing. I was like 10 seconds away.
It's an internal clock.
But definitely go check him out. He is such a hoot. He's such a sweet guy and a genius. Honestly, he's the one writing all these recipes and snapping the photos too, which is kind of crazy. All right, so this thing is done. So I'm just going to pop this off. Now, you can see the shrimp is perfectly cooked, right? Beautifully pink. The pasta is as well. Gorgeous. And what's really cool is they give you this little spatula that I've been using to scrape down the side of the bowl. It has this little notch in here. So you can fish out the bowl like this. Drain all that water behind. And then just kind of bring that to the side. Really, really beautiful. How you doing, Chef Jamie?
Doing great.
I just called you Chef Jamie. Chef Jenny.
Yeah, I noticed that, and it was hurtful, but I'm moving past it.
All right, so you're using the smallest little spider of all time.
Just to make sure. I don't want to crush my shrimp over here. They're so cute. I want to take care of my babies over here.
So, I mean, again, like that took me 3 seconds to lift it out of the water. She's fishing them all out piece by piece. It just saves you these little seconds, these little minutes. Saves you so much time when it comes to cooking, especially on like a weekday, right? When I've got kids running around, I don't want to have hot pots of boiling water. It's a lot safer.
I love this idea, though, of poaching the shrimp with the pasta.
Oh,
That's a life hack right there.
Yeah, it's a total life hack.
I'm taking that one with me.
All right, so then I like that. I'm going to go a bigger bowl. I think that's the way to go. But you basically combine them both into a bowl.
Oh, they smell so good.
Yep, so in we go.
Here we go.
I'm going to come in a little closer to me so they can see you.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. And then just get in there with your tongs and just smear around. And the idea is like, again, it's not necessarily that my dish is going to taste better than Jenny's. They're going to taste the same. They're the same recipe. One's done on conventional cookware. One's done on the Multo.
Well, now you're just showing off.
You can toss it.
Look at that. Oh.
It's beautiful.
Ooh.
Show a little side view here.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, bright. This is what we talk about when we talk about light. You know, again, this is a pasta that's not, you're not going to eat this pasta and then feel like you need a nap afterwards. This is a complete opposite of that.
No, pasta doesn't really slow me down. I find it's usually the sauce that slows me down.
That's actually a good point.
Is on it.
It's not like it's not the pasta.
It's not the pasta. It's usually the 10 pounds of parm I put on it.
All right, so we thought it would be kind of fun to show you guys a little plating trick that is actually very popular in restaurants nowadays. And I think, listen, of course you could just pile this on a plate, call it a day. I don't think it needs any Parmesan because the saltiness from the shells, from the seasoning of the pasta is good to go.
And also Parmesan is very savory, and we have those anchovies in there, and we have those shrimp shells, and that's giving you that savoriness. So you're not really missing that kind of little kick that Parm gives you.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
So if you have one of these big forks at home, right? These are to hold your turkey in place when you're carving it or whatever you want. This is a carving fork. A good trick is to just go in there and kind of go after the pasta, right? And kind of start twisting. You're not really going after the filling yet. You're more going after the pasta, and you just kind of keep scooping the pasta, right? And you just kind of keep wrapping it around. Ooh. So you're not going after the filling. Just kind of keep dipping your fork. The filling will kind of fall off. And then you can kind of take this beautiful round here. Just kind of keep wrapping it around the fork. All right, and maybe we'll go top down here. Just so everyone can see. But then you take this beautiful bundle, right? And you just kind of take it over a plate and just really carefully give a little strip like that. Yeah,
that's
and then
beautiful.
I think it's a nice little plating hack.
I mean, if I got that, you could instantly charge me $10 more for a plate because I'm paying it.
Yeah, and then you just kind of just take that's when you take your shrimp.
I don't know. I can just.
You want to try, or you just want to go rustic?
I'm gonna go rustic. We'll do it side by side and let you guys decide which one. I mean, I'm just gonna take my tongs here and just spin around. Take some and spin around a little.
It's beautiful. But I mean, I think this is elevated. It's light. You could easily serve this at a dinner party, and people would be thrilled. And you guys, we've been cooking live. It's only 4:45 our time, so without even my spieling, that's another great hack is to kind of twist it.
I did the little twist
in
the center. Either way, just makes a Thursday feel a little extra special.
Yeah.
And I need all of this, all of it.
So here's mine. I'll show you guys. See, that's really nice.
Beautiful tomatoes over.
Easy, stunning. For me, it was one pot, 0 board.
Yeah.
For Jenny, she had a board, a saute pan, a pot of water. That looks nice, Chef Jenny.
I mean,
just piled up.
Just a little.
I like the height that has.
I like the height. This is where it's fun. This is why I became a chef. Is this part?
All right. You know what? Let's have some. Crowd asks, which one would you rather eat? They're the same recipe.
So
no. It's not a contest. It's just a fun little game. Which one would you rather eat? Do you like the flat, kind of long, almost precision?
Yeah, this
Do you
actually
like the kind of piled high? I don't know. It's kind of fun just to hear what you guys think. I personally prefer Jenny's. I think it just looks a little bit more inviting, but I think this looks cleaner and more refined.
That's fun to do, though.
Yeah, let's see. High mountain of pasta. Jenny, yes, yeah. But I do think this looks nice. I do think there's some elevatedness to it. Should we try this?
Thank you. I've been waiting.
Really?
I've been really patient, and because the smell, I'm impressed I didn't eat the shrimp shells back there. Started munching on them. Oh, fresh pasta. There's something about fresh pasta too.
Wow, that's seasoned beautifully. The chili for me is perfection.
Yeah. Just nice little. Wow. That shrimp oil.
Wow.
I don't know if you just tried this, you would know if that's what it is.
No.
But there is a depth of flavor underlining this entire dish that tastes like when you get at a fancy restaurant. You're
Spot on.
Ooh. Chef Jamie.
It's not a huge step.
Chef Jamie.
Toast your shells and infuse some oil. but it changes the game.
So excited.
Absolutely changes the game. And I'll have to be honest, even the smallest bit of Parmesan would take away from this dish for me. Like, it is light, well seasoned. To me, this is exactly what you want.
We worked so hard on that shrimp flavor to concentrate that shrimp flavor. I wouldn't want it to compete with anything.
No, I'm with you.
It's not fishy. It's
No.
savory.
And
it's savory.
There's a difference between fishy and kind of you actually get a taste of the ocean. And this is what you're getting. I do want to call out a couple of other things. We've gotten a lot of questions about cleaning this thing. It self-cleans, the Multo. So you can literally add liquid and water to it, press clean mode. It will do its own thing. It will sanitize. It will be ready to go. It does come with other pieces. Each class, we're kind of introducing new ones. Yesterday, we talked about a steaming basket where you can steam on the top and the bottom. Today, we're obviously talking a little bit more about the actual boiling or poaching basket, which we love to lift in and lift out, but this thing can do so many different things. And I love it. I honestly, I've become... someone asked me last night, how long have I been cooking on the Multo? It's been about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I'm really starting to understand the value. In the beginning, as a chef, I'm not going to lie, I fought back with Jamie a little bit. I'm like, I like my pans, I like my knives, but then when you realize there's just no cleanup, and it really makes a difference as far as efficiency and where your attention can be. I can be watching the kids. I can be taking out the garbage. I can be checking the score of the game. And this thing is just handling it. I don't know. That's a game changer for me. I know Nancy has a question, so let's go to Nancy before we keep on gabbing.
Hi, chefs. This has been very, very interesting, but I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
The first one is the shrimp shells.
Yeah.
Okay. When you put those with the oil, because you both did it, it was one in the skillet and one in the Multo.
Yeah.
How long were you actually heating or cooking those? And Chef Jenny, what type of temperature, if we only have a skillet, would we be using?
Yeah, I'm not trying to deep fry the shells. I'm trying to just kind of slowly roast them in the pan and pull out the juices. So I had it on about medium. Not too high. Yeah, medium.
Like a 5.
Like halfway there. I wanted to slowly coax out all of the juice and really kind of toast the shells to get that savory flavor. Not high. I'm not trying to deep fry, but you do need a little heat on there, so not low either, right?
It's like tea. Like you don't want to boil
tea. The oil
tea.
was hot.
The oil's hot.
Yeah, but then it's just not overly hot.
No.
And Chef Joel, with the Multo, does the metal container part that has the handle on it, does that get hot while you're cooking?
It does.
Or is that insulated?
No, this does get hot. No, it does get hot. But the good news is it tells you on the actual screen itself what the temperature is, so you know when it's hot. And then everywhere around it, like the top, this is all insulated. So like right now, there's boiling water in here, and I can touch this as much as I want as opposed to a pot of boiling water. So it's no different than a pot of boiling water, except for there's way more handles to handle it. Yeah. And it tells you how hot it is. Yeah, good question.
Yeah, really good question.
Is the bottom element, when you take the pot off, does that cool down quickly?
Really quickly. Yeah, we actually tested that. So this element right here is what you're talking about. This is actually induction. So right now, this is hot, but this can actually cool to the touch.
Yep.
So, this isn't going to burn you, nothing like that.
Oh, okay. So you could actually move it off of your counter rather quickly than to sit and wait for hours like you might if you were doing a deep fry or something.
Or like a slow cooker, which takes forever to cool down, or a pressure cooker. Yeah. This does all that and more. So, absolutely. Great question.
Okay,
really good question.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nancy.
Some great cooking tips tonight. I love the idea of 2 people together doing the same recipe 2 different ways.
That's
Thanks for saying that, Nancy. Yeah,
Nancy?
We like it too, and we're trying not to be competitive because it's the same recipe, just 2 different ways.
Same recipe. I don't think we're playing it off, but it is. I mean, and most of all, we're at cooking school here, so we want to show you. We were not going to show you anything that doesn't have a good recipe. And what we've been loving about the Multo here is they have Chef Jamie. He's a rock star because his recipes are amazing.
No, they kick butt.
Yet they're
really
just
do.
Really, and I have a high recipe bar. I'm pretty stingy with that praise. So
you do all of our recipes.
They're really great recipes. So most of all, we just wanted to show you guys a great dish, and then we're so excited about this. We kind of were talking earlier, Chef Joel and I, about how when the food processor came out, people were scared of it.
Yeah.
Each time
a
new
microwave,
thing,
people were scared of it.
Each time things come out, people are unsure. We're culinary innovators. We like experiencing new things, and that's why we teamed with them, because we just think it's really exciting and fun to show you guys something new that's happening out in the culinary
And
world.
we wouldn't team up with someone that
No.
didn't make it easier in the kitchen for you guys.
No.
It's just not our vibe. That's
Not
not
our
what
vibe.
Homemade's all about. So
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys. I know this is new.
Thank you.
We have 2 new classes coming in next month. I believe one is a risotto that we're going to make in the Multo, which is going to be
Yeah.
killer, because for a normal risotto, you have to sit there and stir it forever.
No.
For a Multo, you can go have a drink.
Yeah.
And then what's the other one we're
I think
doing?
it's a vegan fettuccine.
Yes, the vegan fettuccine.
It's a really
Fast
good,
recipe.
It's a
We all ate this and
good
we're
recipe.
like, there's no cream in this, there's no cheese in this.
They thought there was a suspicion in the air because it was so creamy. It's a really good
Really good
recipe.
recipe.
I made it at home.
You did already?
Yeah, because it was so good.
We just
couldn't
tested
stop.
that. That's awesome.
Yeah, because we couldn't stop eating it.
So check out those classes in November. We have a couple more in December. But again, don't feel like you have to dive in. If you are going to go there, we want to call it again. The promo code is GIFT with HM on cookingpal.com. But stick around with us. Ask us questions. We got some great emails yesterday, some great interaction with you guys.
Yeah,
That's
thank
what
you
we're
guys.
here for. And we love this, and we love you guys. So
We love you guys.
This is the last day before the weekend, so have a killer weekend.
Great Halloween.
Cook, make this dish. I'm not
this
kidding.
dish.
And watch some football. What else are you going to be doing?
Eating mounds.
Please get out of here. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.